Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up? Benji Madden, motherfucking man, on the mic. Yep, Joel Madden right here. Introducing you all to Maryland's finest group of young citizens, entrepreneurs, and contributors to society. Caught up. So yeah, this is some behind the scenes shit that y'all are gonna love, because it's straight out of Maryland, and some a pretty nice little video. About to see some fine women, some fine rims, and some motherfucking gangsta shit.
Making a video, day 2. That's how we do it.
My friend Joseph here, he had been filming a bunch of local hardcore bands and New York hardcore bands, and I knew he'd help us out.
Roll camera. What? This was a project that I guess had been coming out of what was supposed to be another band from a few years ago, but the project never really got off the ground, or when it eventually did, it just kind of came out in this form.
Well, I guess the project started, me and Sean were emailing each other. We both had some things go down where we had some extra time around the area, and
You're moving back.
I was moving back to the area for a couple months. I was on tour at Good Charlotte, had a break.
Most of the time, Joseph, the director, is in touch with someone who's interested in our work and his work and the things we've done in the past. So he usually has some type of precursor meeting just to get them up to speed and kind of feel them out, what they were looking for, what they wanted. Because on top of everything else, they really need to be happy with the product once it's done.
Called up Daryl, said, hey, Daryl, there's going to be another video. Sat down, went out to dinner with Nick. Then we eventually sat down with the band, and the band was pretty much cool with whatever. They kind of really left it up to us. Alright, here we go! Settle!
How I came involved? Well, Joseph basically already had the video, and just a matter of me getting involved in producing world kind of thing, getting all the equipment together and getting all the locations, permits, although he did some of that. So.
One thing though that kind of had made this video different than all the other videos we'd done up to this point was it relied a lot more on practical locations than our previous ones had. Our previous videos have been pretty theatrical. We made rooms and locations and boxing rings look like anything but what they really were.
This video differed in a lot of ways. I think initially we were dealing with more locations that were more spread out.
3 locations. One of the main locations was the garage. The other one was shooting in DC streets, basically the whole driving sequence, and the jail, which is Lorton prison.
So the spaces in this, actually, I guess the one that probably sticks out most is we had the opportunity to shoot in Lorton Penitentiary, which is now shut down.
The big, notorious, long-time DC prison is Lorton Prison.
Having grown up in the area and having heard about Lorton Prison pretty much my entire life.
Roll camera.
Camera speeding.
Mark it.
That location actually worked out really well.
Lorton Prison is located in Lorton, Virginia, which is not in Washington, D.C. But after, many years of this really bad prison being open, Virginia finally said, hey, look, keep your prison out of here. So they moved everyone out and left a empty prison standing in Virginia.
Every video should have a good location, and I'm glad that Lorton came across for that one.
From the beginning, I don't think the band really was too excited about Lorton Prison, and I don't know if it was just a self-conscious thing on their part. Finally, I said, look, you guys gotta let the music video be a music video. We need a band scene and something that is relative to the whole illegal aspect and the whole criminal theme of the video. And went there, did a location scout, brought back some pictures, and they were like, wow.
It's a pretty surreal feeling there.
It's kind of a weird, strange landmark to have in what is seemingly your backyard, have it shut down, and then have the ability to walk in with 35mm camera crew and a band, put up some lights and shoot a project in there. is really something kind of cool and something kind of special, I think.
That made me not want to break the law. I mean, that shit was crazy. It was grimy, small little quarter. I was freaking out in a cell by myself. And then you got to think of somebody else crazy, obviously, if they're in there, in that cell with you. You look close at their cells when you're watching this video. Those clothes were small, shitty. Some of them had, like, sheets hanging.
Makeshift nooses.
Yeah, makeshift nooses. People trying to kill themselves in there. They had suicide cells. Disgusting wall. People would draw little naked women on the wall. It was like the whole thing was really...
Looks kind of like your bedroom.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like my bed.
The idea for the stage came about during pre-production. I guess that's one of the things that we were going back and forth on is what should the stage be? Should there be a stage?
I guess initially kind of in the pre-production, what kind of snarled us for probably a little bit of time was working out the logistics of the stage that we built.
Knowing the space that we needed to have it in, in the jail, it was a little more difficult trying to build something. I suggested not to have a stage, but just wanted a stage. So we basically wanted something industrial looking.
I really wanted there to be a stage. I thought that, this video needed a stage, so we came up with the idea that we were gonna, give it that whole metal grating, light up through the metal grating, underlighting the band.
We had a fairly good idea of how we wanted it to look and how we wanted it to be used.
So we decided to pitch the idea about doing the whole welding metal thing. It was kind of ridiculous because we had these, once we built the stages and we actually welded the screen to it and we got all the metal. Even I do welding, Daryl does welding, so we did the whole thing together.
So Angel and I took about a day and a half, designed it, welded it up. We just kind of took the time that we had and adjusted and got it done.
I think the stage was a great idea. I think it was probably one of the better stages that we've made, and I think it looks great in the video.
It was cool, though. It stood out to me a lot of how professional the film crew was.
Well, as an independent project, I think if we're doing our job right, I think we're slowly blurring that line. And I think it's really probably only considered an independent project, probably based on a lot of factors that probably shouldn't be judged as an independent project. I think when you watch a music video, is probably when you should probably judge if you thought it was an independent project or not, and I think it holds up.
You can't tell that a friend of ours from Virginia just came out and filmed it in 3 days.
I've been to a lot of video shoots with with bands that I work for and like professional MTV bands, and this stands up to any video I've seen on MTV. It's unbelievable that we did it for a low budget. We used most of the budget to ice my Breitling out, so I don't even know if that really helped the video at all, but it helped my wrist out.
I've been in a lot of other videos, and like Jamie was saying was I've been in so many other videos, and you always hated to be there, and this is something that he said, and one of the things that there's always a misconception with that is because there are other people out there who do terrible jobs in the video, or they never have a good production. So it's always like a hate process.
Currently, there's a very big movement in the music video industry to shoot video and to shoot high def and to shoot 24p. And I think there's people out there that are on an independent level are still shooting 35mm and 16 film and doing it just because they feel like the aesthetic of it is really what they're looking for. 35mm is 35mm. A light is a light. A band performance is still a band performance. But the difference is the creativity that we bring to it.
I'm not really so much into cars. I'm not so much into chop shops. Well, I'm not really into them at all. But I think the hardest thing I personally dealt with on trying to tackle this video was what could I do to make this video satisfy myself artistically? How could I feel like, yes, this is even though this is a concept or theme that I have no attachment to, how can I feel like I gave this video everything I had to give?
That stuck out a lot considering we were fucking around half the time, driving cars all crazy around here. And
You can't put that many hooligans in one building. It doesn't work out.
Half of it is, representing the band, what the band's about, but the other half of it is, I made this. This is a piece of art. It's a music video, but it's still a piece of art. It's just a visual piece of art. So there's definitely a balance in making sure that I'm satisfied and making sure the band is satisfied, and I think we found that middle ground. I think we found that balance, and I'm very happy with the final product.